we're going to do is we are going to allow a remote server to access GitHub repository using SSH. Yeah, using SSH. So that's what we're going to do. The code has to be on this remote server, but we want to use SSH to do that. Can you see my screen?
We can see it.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see the screen. Yeah.
Okay. So what we do is I'm going to AWS. I'm going to create a remote server. And I remember saying that every time you work on this, be in North Virginia. Okay. Currently have 2 machines running. I shouldn't. I'm going to delete this one. It already has. Let me stop it. Stop. Okay. I shouldn't have this running. I should have deleted it. Okay. So I'm going to launch a new instance. And of course, the name, let me go back and copy this name. So you need to brush on the SSH work a lot more, guys. SSH configurations. Okay. So I will call it 13 underscore July underscore 2024 underscore personalized greetings. Yeah. And when we are creating this, we want to choose Ubuntu. We want to specify that this one says free tier eligible, free tier. So we're just going to use T2 micro. I'm not sure which key I have. So if I go to my Cloud9 environment, where is it? Do I have, which key do I have? I don't think I have any key here.
Why not creating a new one?
So I'm going to create a new one. I'm checking. Because if I already have one which is already available on Cloud9, then I'll use it. Because that's why AWS gives you access to. When you create it, it tells you, oh, you've already created some keys before. You can use those ones. But if you, yeah, if you don't have the access to that, you can create a new one. Okay. So I'm going to create a new one and call it this. You don't always have to create a new one. Yeah. Call it this.
Right.
So I'll create a new pair. And then I will call it this one. I'm going to use this. When I finish, I'll create another EC2 and not create a key pair for you to understand what I mean by that. So I will leave everything as it is. I'll not do anything. But one thing that I told you to do always, make sure the name is there. You can also add additional tags, but then it will add the name. You can add more tags and stuff, but make sure that the name is there. We'll leave everything as it is, and then we'll just launch the EC2. Okay, easy. Launching an EC2 on AWS. This is a simple, unsafe EC2. Okay, don't use this in a production environment. You have to do more things to make a proper EC2. Okay, so but we are not doing AWS. We go to instances. We will see that that one is here. Okay, and it's initializing. Now, while I wait for the machine to initialize itself, I'm going to try and connect. But we all know that to connect to the machine, yeah, we can connect from a workstation. So this is the machine now. We need to connect to it from a workstation, which is the red line. Yeah. Now, you're going to use SSH to connect to the machine. And AWS have just created a key and downloaded the private key for you. So remember when I said AWS has put the lock on the machine, which is the public key, and they have given you the private key. But unfortunately, when you downloaded it, it came onto this laptop in my house. And I'm not going to connect to the machine from this laptop in my house. The key should be at the location where I'm connecting from. Okay. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go to my Cloud9 and move the key to Cloud9. This is why I go to Cloud9 and then I say, is it upload files? Where is it? Upload local files. So the file is currently sitting on my laptop in my house, but I want it in Cloud9 because I'll be connecting from Cloud9. Okay. So I will select, and then I think it's just in downloads. And this is it. Okay. So AWS downloaded it. When you create a key pair in AWS, it downloads the key and put it on your local machine for you so that you don't lose it. Because without this key, you can't connect to the machine that you've just created. Okay. So now I've got it. It's here now. Okay. So I have created a folder called SSH keys. And that's where I'm putting all my keys. So if I go to my terminal, I can cd into SSH keys. And if I list, it's there. Okay. Is it really? Oh, no, it's not in there. I'll move it there. Actually, now it's there. ls is there now. So ls minus alt. Look at the difference. The new one that I brought has read, write, read permissions. These are the permissions, but it's not safe and you cannot do that. So it needs to have a permission like this, something like this. Okay. And this is where you run a chmod command. Chmod, you're changing mod, 400 is what we use. And then you change the mod to that. Yeah, ls. Now, if I ls minus alt, see that the write is almost the same. Both of them are pem files. .pem is the extension, and they all have the same permissions. Yeah, this is why. Now, this command here is either you have it in your head, or when you go to connect, AWS gives you this command. It's there. You can copy and go and run it, but I don't do that every day. It's in my head. These are some of the things you always don't have to go and check and check and check. So you can come and copy it from here, or you can run it yourself, which I did. Okay. So what are we trying to do here? All we're trying to do is to connect from here to here. So now we've made sure that the key to connect or to open this door, we've set it up. The key is okay. Everything is okay. It's on this machine, and now we're going to use it to open this door. Okay. To open this door, you need to know where this machine is. You need to know the IP address of the machine. Okay. So I will go to AWS. It's either I will copy this command here, just SSH minus I, Ubuntu, and this, or I know it. I don't. All I need is the IP address. I know the command. So all I need is the IP address. Go to here. Let me clear the screen. And I type SSH. You probably all know this, minus I. Remember, I'm in this location, the SSH keys. Okay. So if I go back one, I'm in environment now. So if I want to access the key, I need to do it like this: SSH minus I, SSH keys, and I say 13. I need to specify which folder the key is in. If I'm already in this folder, then I don't need to specify it again. Okay. So SSH is the tool, the application that will allow you to open and connect to the machine. And SSH says that give me your identity file that you're going to use. And this is it. We shared it. Minus I identity file is this. Okay. When I want to connect to the machine, I want to connect as user Ubuntu. Okay. I want to connect as user Ubuntu at, this is the user in this machine. This is the IP address of the machine that I want to connect to. Okay, that is it. So when I connect, I'm connecting as user Ubuntu. So if user Ubuntu is not there, then you can't connect. You have to find another user. And that's why AWS gives you a default user, Ubuntu, to connect to at the beginning. Okay, and the machine you want to connect to. It asks you, do you want to do the handshake? Yes, we are doing a handshake between two machines. And voila, I'm in. Yeah. So now I have connected to the machine. And if you look at it, it gives me the prompt and it says, I'm connected at your and the private IP is this. We've already done work about how to change this and all that. Okay. When you log in into the machine at first, SSH gives you information about the machine and all of that is here. Okay. You can suppress this actually. You can suppress this information as well. So clear. So I'm in the machine. But the aim is that this machine can pull this repository. So the first thing is to connect to the machine is completely different. But when you get in it, how can I get this repo? Okay. Now, if you go to the repo, which is here, this is the repository. It has the code, master branch, and we're going to make sure that this information, this code, is on that machine. Yeah. In fact, let me move this and put it in here so that it's easy for me to move. Okay, so now we're going to make sure that GitHub, remember GitHub is also a machine, a server sitting somewhere that has your code. The fact that you see it from here, this is the front end. It's just a machine, a Linux machine sitting somewhere running application to let you see all of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect to it and pull this code. Now, in this repository, you can go to the settings, and in that settings, there's here, deployment keys, deploy keys. You need to tell GitHub which key is allowed to access this repository. Okay, you need to tell GitHub which key is allowed to access this repo. So what we can do is we'll create a key, a public key and a private key. Okay, a public key and a private key. And then we keep the private key in the machine and then we bring the public key here. So if you go here, we are now in this machine. It doesn't matter where you create the keys. We can even use the key that AWS gave us. It is also a key. We have access to both of them. We have access to the public and we have access to the private. So we can use that. Can use that. I don't need to create a new key. Where's the public key? If I go to here, cat.ssh authorized key, this is the public key. Look, this is the public key that AWS put in the machine, in this machine. I can use the same key. I don't need to create a new key. Remember, this here in the machine is the public key, which is the lock. I call it lock on the door. The private key, which is the one in your pocket, is the one that is sitting in this machine here. It's called private. As you can see, it's private. Okay, and the public one here is different. So it's either I create a new key or I use one that I already have. The reason I'm saying use one that you already have is that you need to know that you are not going to have to create a key every day, and we're going to do that after. So let's use the one we already have. But that means that we have to copy this key to this machine. Okay, so the private key, remember, the private key needs to be at the place where you are accessing the public key. Okay, to make life easy, let's create a new one. Okay, So we do SSH keygen. I think this is the command. SSH keygen. Let's go and look at the document the guy did, because he's got the commands there. Okay. Does he have the commands there? No, because I want to do SSH keygen and also add name to it. So I've forgotten how to do it. I'll go and ask my boss.
It's minus T, then
can you copy
D,
can you write the command in the chat, in the WhatsApp chat?
Yep.
But I know what I want to do. I don't know the how. Well, I'll go and find out the how. Sometimes I can't have all the commands in my head. One thing I want to emphasize, that know what needs to be done. It's very, very important. How to do it, you can get help always. Are you putting in this chat, or you're putting it in the WhatsApp group?
What's up?
Cool. So remember, I can create the key in my local machine. Where is it? I can create the key in my workstation and move it to the SE2. But both of them are running the same application, which is Linux Ubuntu. So why create it here and move it here? I can create it here if I've connected to this machine. Or I can create it here and move it here. But the idea is you would need okay. So this is the command. Go to here and I'll call it. I'll name it. I'm going to use this for all personalized greetings. Okay. I'm not going to create any other one. This key generation should be once. So I'm going to create a key and that. Where do I want the key to be located? They will ask. So I probably will say put it in this location. Okay. When they ask, I think the default location is there anyway. So enter. It's asking you, where do you want to put it? How do you want to call it? First, I'll call it this. Okay. I'll call it this, and I want you to put it in this location. It's probably going to just leave it here. Call it this. Enter phrase. I don't want to enter any phrase. Enter. I think it will leave it here. There it is. So it creates two keys for you. One is .pub, which is the public key, the lock. So what we've done is we've gone to the shop and we bought a key and a lock. So SSH keygen only does that for you. It gives you a key and a lock. A key and a lock. To open a door, you need to put the key in the lock. Okay, so you go to the shop, you bought a key to the lock. What we're going to do is we're going to put the lock in GitHub so that this machine can use that key to open this repository door in GitHub. That's all we're doing. So what we do is you cut content of the lock, which is the public key. Remember, it's public. You can share that public key. It's a lock. The reason I call it a lock is that everybody can see your lock on your door. It doesn't matter if you give it to anybody. It doesn't matter. If I see the lock, there's no problem. Okay, there's no problem whatsoever to see the lock. So this is the lock, and I will put it here. Remember, we are recording this video, and if I also do the same to the someone might have access. So I just put it here. It says put the key here and put a name of the key. So all personalized greetings. I'm not going to create this key again. I'm going to make sure that I save this key and private key and public key somewhere so that I can use it anytime I want. Okay, that's why I'm saying all of them whenever I create a new EC2. So I've added the lock. Obviously, GitHub wants to know that I'm doing this. So I have set up MFA on my GitHub. I always have to put MFA when I'm doing changes like this. You can also set up MFA on your GitHub. But because of the job I do, it's a requirement. Okay. So there are two. I don't know where this one is. Probably we did it. We threw the private key away. If you throw your key away, you can't use it. But then I created another lock. This is why I'm saying that in one door, you can put many locks. Okay. We've done that. So when we go into this machine now should, the word is should, have access to the GitHub repository. But will it? Okay, will it? No, it wouldn't, because you need to set up your configuration file, or you need to make sure that, okay, let's clone and see. I think you need to specify which key you're using. So let's find out git clone with specific SSH key. Yeah. So it's a parameter that you probably, so here, you see, when you run git clone on its own, yeah, git clone on its own, it uses the default SSH key. And the default SSH key sits here. Let's clear this. Okay. It sits here, cd.ssh. And it's called ID. The name is different. Okay. The name is different. It's a default one. Okay. But we don't have one here. There's no default SSH key here. Okay. What we want to do is to use this key. This one here. This is the key. This is the public key. This is the key. This is the key that we're going to use to open the door. So when you're doing your git clone, go back and we copy the command. We are using SSH. So I'm going to do git clone, git clone. I'll paste this, but I want to specify the key I want to use. This is where I went here and found out that you can actually dash key, which is an argument, and tell them in quotes where the key is. Okay. Oh no. Dash key in quotes, and we know the key is here. It's in this same folder, so we don't need to go anywhere. This is it. We are in that folder and the key is here. We don't need to go anywhere. We can just do it like this. This way, we are saying that go to GitHub, go and connect to GitHub and get me this repository using this key. By the time it gets there, it's using the key to open the door. We have already configured GitHub to accept that. And this is where you do it here, deployment keys. So it's here. If you remove this, the machine cannot come. So if I run this now, oh, see this person, I'll probably looked at the question, not the answer. I do that a lot. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the config.
So what was the error message?
I didn't even read it. Unknown switch. Okay, let's see. In fact, 1 minute. Hmm? Okay, according to ChatGPT. Oh, okay. Okay. So basically, there's okay. Okay. I'll share this command with all of you. Clear. So according to ChatGPT, you need to set an environment variable git SSH command is equal to, and then you put the key here, path to key is in this same location. No, 1 minute. Let me go and find the exact path. The exact path, PWD. The exact path is this. Yeah. Okay. And then single quotes. Okay, let me just I'm creating a command. I'm not ready yet. So what I'll do is I'll just put this and then ls so that I can copy this. Copy, go to the command again and paste. Okay, so you set git SSH command and then you say SSH -i SSH -i and the path. Okay, and then after that you can just let me go and copy the git clone command again. You can just then do your git clone. Okay, so the one that we saw on the, it's a different variant. Okay. Let's see if this works. Okay. So I want to go to GitHub and SSH into GitHub the same way we did, but we are going to this. Let's see. Open it and run the command like this. Morning. Okay, run the command. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me remove the comment in front. Remember, hash in front of a command doesn't run the command. And it's doing it. It says, I want a handshake. You are connecting to GitHub server. The fact that you see it here is a server, a Linux server, also holding this document, and you want to connect it and pull it. Okay, think of it like that. So you're using SSH. It's it will require handshake between both of them, and voila, the project is here. Okay, so today we learned one thing. There are so many ways to configure this, but I didn't want to use the config file, create a config file and all that. There's a command. So I'll put the command in the WhatsApp group. Guys, create your own documentation. Okay. Okay. So now the project is here. Okay. So I'm going to do it again, fast space. Okay. So now remember, I have this two files. I have these two files. Especially the one that is very important now is this one. Yeah, is this one. Wherever I go, I need this file because I've already configured this and put it here. So wherever I go, I need this file. Else every day I will have to create a new one every day. Every time I want to do, I have a server and I want to use that server to connect to my Git repository, I'm going to have to set up this again. Okay. So what I'm actually going to do is that I'm going to put this file in the project and leave it in GitHub. Okay. So I'm going to put this file in the project and leave it in GitHub so that I always have this file. I don't need this one. I only need this one. So what I'll do is I'll go to this project, cd Bernard. Yeah. I'm just being smart here. I don't want to be doing SSH key gen every day. Okay. So I will move from home Ubuntu personalized key to, and I'll call it underscore git key. Yeah, it's moved. So now it's here. So now the file is here. This is the key, git key. Okay, I'm going to do git status. So I'll create a git branch, git. Yesterday I learned something. To bypass all of this, I really did learn something that I can share with you. Let me see. Another command that I learned in GitHub that you don't need to create a branch and all that. So many ways of doing so. So I'm going to push directly, git push, okay, origin. I'll share this command with you, head, and then I specify which branch I want to create. As I say, add key, copy. But one thing I haven't done, so I'll just comment this command out and do that one first. I'll do git add, okay, git let me see. What happened? Oh, I have to set up I have to add the key. So I haven't, this machine still, yeah, it does have access to the repository. Let's see. What's the command to check the, you always, when you're running a command, you always have to add, basically, at the moment,
Git init.
it seems we always have to push, we always have to add this. Let's see. Let's commit first. Let me do what I know, guys. Git checkout -b added the GitHub private key. Oh, copy. I'm creating a branch, aren't I? I'm not committing. I'm not committing. I'm creating a branch. I'm creating it from master. Is it main? Git status. The branch is main. Okay. It's not master. Well, I'm used to master. Main. So I've created a new, so git status. I'm now currently using my branch, which is on branch this, and changes to be committed. So git commit -m and then I can just now say my message. It's committed. But if I want to check the, where's the WhatsApp? My man has his commands here. Let me go and steal one. If I want to check if Git is, no, it's not here. Right. Let's then push. So to push, because I haven't set up my system properly, I'm probably going to have to again specify this before I can push. Because I haven't, this machine has not been set up properly. So git push origin. I'm hoping that this works. I've never done that before. This is the branch name that I want to push. Could not read the repository to the public key. Could not read from the room. Make sure you. Right. 1 minute.
Did you do the chmod for the private key?
And when you create it for the first time, it does put the, it changes the permission properly. Let's check. I think I know what's going on, but let's check. ls minus alt. So, oh, okay. Now this is the public key. The private key we have, I moved it, didn't I? ls minus alt. This is the private key, and oh, it's called read write. You're right. Chmod 400 personalized key ls minus alt. So it needs to only have read. I'm not sure the command is still going to work though, but let's try the command again after changing it. Okay. The reason is this. Okay, let's let me show you what's going on. Where's the document that we are using every day? Voila. Okay. So when we're doing Git, we were introduced to a command. See the need for documentation. Don't worry, I have a document here. Yep, there. So there's something called remote. Okay. So we need to check what the link to this is first. Where is Cloud9? What did I do? I left my Cloud9. Oh no. Open a new terminal. Go here and in Git. Remember documentation. I have this here already. So I always go back to it. So let's check what this is. Git remote -v. Okay, so it's using that. Okay. Right, let's create a config file and just forget about this. ls cd cd ssh vim config. Yeah. We did this the other time. Did we document it? When we're doing GitHub? It's meant to be in the repository as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think it's hostname equals hostname
Can you copy?
github.com.
Can you share that whatever you're talking about?
Benny, it looks like your key on GitHub is on lead only mode.
Sorry?
It looks like your key on GitHub is on lead only mode. Is that the issue?
Are you sure? It's good that we all debug. I don't think. Oh, oh my days! It's read-only mode.
There was a button to tick for you to accept the key can write.
You can't edit this key. You can only delete it. Create a new one. Allow write. Okay, well done. Would have been here for a long time. Come on. Quit. Don't create any file. Right. So all I need is to go and find the public key again, which is here. Cut, personalize, pub, copy it again and go and create it again. Sometimes it will fail in GitHub because GitHub takes a while to delete it. You can't have the same twice. Can't have the same twice. So if GitHub hasn't deleted it in their backend, then it will cry and say it's already exists. Okay, good. Ah, well done, sir. Well done. But did it say the error public key SSH denied? Could not read from. Saying read. Okay. Let's run the command. CD personalized. Okay. Git status. There's nothing to commit. Let's push. Let's just do a normal push and see. Well, let's add the key to it. Could not read or from the repository. Permission denied. GitHub.com. This thing is just. See, this is the problem. Chris, were you able to change the? What's the command that you were sharing, Chris? The config. Chris.
1 minute.
I know it's this. Or just do this quick. I'll change the name and put it in the where it belongs. CD. We'll make it default. Okay. So I'll copy this CP, copy this, and put it in the here, but call it this. So the default file name is this. Yeah, this is the default file name, but it needs to be in .ssh default location. Okay, so I'm putting this here, and what this means is that whenever you want to SSH into anything, it will use the default. That normally works. Okay. I know what's good. The file has been moved, isn't it? We moved it. We didn't copy it.
Yes, I saw you moving that one. Yeah.
We didn't copy it. We moved it. So it's actually in this location. Still not working. Anyway, let's just put it in. Let's just put it in permission denied. Of course, it's a sudo can do it. Where is this file? The name has actually changed as well. Oh my days. The name has changed. Okay. Let's try it again and see.
There is something still on the message after key. There is still a dash. I don't know if it's intended, but I don't think so.
Oh yeah, I know what's going on. I added one more of this, which I shouldn't. So it did try and do something. Push cannot contain secrets. So GitHub have seen that this key is a private key, and it will not push it. To push, remove secret from commit or follow the URL. But I've done this before. Why would it not do it? I've done this before. Anyway, let's just move this key and put it somewhere simple. Git checkout main. I was going to put it in GitHub, but it seems it doesn't want to. Checkout main. Remember, what we are trying to do is to make sure we don't create this key again. Yeah, it's currently not here. Okay, it's good. What we do is we go to our Cloud9, and then we will. This is the new key, isn't it? Okay, so we will move the key to this here. Yeah. So we're going to move it, and the command to do it, we're moving it. What we're doing, let me visualize it for you guys. We have created a key that we want to always, every time, use to connect to GitHub, wherever we go, whenever we go. Now, this key has to sit somewhere because it's not only for this machine, it's going to be for every machine that we create. So we need to put this key somewhere safe. I thought I could put it in GitHub because I've done it several times. It seems not to be working today. So what I'm going to do is the key that I created here, which is always going to be used for GitHub. And as you can see, we have added the public key here. We don't want to be every day coming to add when we create an EC2 instance. That's the purpose of this. So what we are going to do is to move the key from here and put it here on our workstation. So next time, every time we need it, we will use that key. Yeah? Does that make sense? Guys? Anybody? Oh, it doesn't make sense. You're all on mute. Chris.
Maybe Benny. What I can say is like, yeah, we have
it makes sense.
maneuver different clauses, so it's
Let's see.
confusing a bit.
It's confusing a bit. I understand. Don't worry. What I wanted to teach you, I've gone and added more. It's confusing a bit. We'll get there. Don't worry. I'll do it again. But I want to emphasize the fact that I don't want to create this key every day. Okay, it's a once for every project. You probably will do it once. That's what I want to emphasize. I want to remove that from there because it will help us for the scripting as well. When we are scripting, we don't want to be doing this every day because the script will not come here and put the key every day. So forget about, I'll do it again and you see the benefit of that. So I'm having a key. I don't want to run SSH keygen for GitHub again. This is what I'm trying to achieve. Okay, so I'm just going to move this key here for now, and you see what I mean by that. So SCP -I, yeah, and I'm going to move it. Move the key that I'm going to move will be at Ubuntu. It's in this machine, and the machine IP address is this. So what I'm trying to do is I'm moving a file from here back to my workstation. The file exits here. I'm moving it back to my workstation. Okay. So on my workstation, I'm connecting to using my key to the machine that holds the file. I'm connecting as a user this, and this is the location of the machine. Now, where is the file? Starts with a comma. Okay. So when I go to the machine, where is the machine? This is the machine. Where does the file look? Where is the file that I want to move? The file is okay. There's something going on. Yes, git branch. cd dash git branch. Okay, I need to go back here because the file is in this branch. Git checkout. Okay. ls. Copy this key and put it in temp. So I'm just copying it and putting a copy of it into a folder called temp. The reason I use temp is temp, there's not a lot of restriction there. If you want to copy anything out of a machine and you don't want to have problems, just have the file in temp. Yeah. So if I go to temp now, cd/tmp, I have just moved the file into this location. Okay. So that's the location of the file, which is temp this. Okay. So the command that I was generating is this. Okay. So basically, secure copy, use this key to connect to this machine with this user and go to this location of that machine and copy this file. Yeah. When you do, put it in my location will be tilde environment SSH keys. And when you bring it, call it the same name. Copy. Okay. So I'll copy this command. This is an SCP command, yeah? Copy as well and put it in GitHub. Don't worry about this too much, guys. It will all come, it will make sense soon. Sorry that I've digressed. Yeah. But I don't want to create the SSH key again tomorrow. Okay. So I'm copying it. Okay. Who can show me what the problem is here?
I think the location you're providing is not there yet.
Exactly. Well done. I think you're getting a hang of SSH, Paul.
Just a little.
Yeah, and now the file is here. So look, it's here now. Okay, so what has happened is I have just moved a file that was created here to here. This file will be used every time I create any EC2 machine to access GitHub. That's it. Forget about it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this EC2 machine. Yeah, and I'll create another one. Okay, and then you see. So let's take it that I'm going to do the project again. But remember,
Okay, this is like a restart.
A restart, yes, a restart.
Yeah, thanks.
A restart. So I'm going to delete this. One step I'm going to skip because I've already done that step and it's there. It's always going to be there every time I create an EC2 instance. Remember that. That's what we've done. Okay, so I have, let me explain again. I have a key and a lock. I've already added the lock to GitHub and I have the key on my workstation. That is it. So in a nutshell, whenever you are going to connect any machine to GitHub, you have the key. Simple, okay? Simple. So let's start again. So go to EC2 and delete this machine. Terminate. Make sure that I'm selecting just that one. Yep. Terminate. And make sure again this is the one. Terminate. Yeah. While it's terminating, I'll copy this name. Okay. And I'll create a new one. Okay. That one is shutting down. I'll create a new one. And the name will be the same, -2. Remember to distinguish between that one. So I'm creating a new one. And this. I'm going to select the free tier again. Now, the thing we don't want to be doing every day, we are coming there now. So look, I have a key that was created for 13th. I'm going to use that one. I'm not going to create a new key. My point is, you don't have to be creating keys every day.
OP,
Yeah.
can you stop the recording and restart this particular one so that it doesn't become cumbersome?
You are correct.
That's okay.
Yeah. So this one was actually just